Hello everyone. Hi, how are you guys doing? Welcome back to another episode of a Torchwood reaction. This is Road Live, and my name is Matt. Um, I haven't slept yet, so let's go. Last time on Torchwood, what happened? Gay Italians are behind it all. Obviously, how did it not? How did we not see that coming? Uh, so yes, we met Angelo Colasanto, I believe that was his last name, who is some Italian immigrant from a small village that was also gay, and he also felt very sinful about the fact that he was gay. So he fell in love with Jack. Jack also saved them from being deported, I suppose. So both of them got to live together for like a little bit. They fucked, they bang, of course. Then Jack and Angelo actually got involved into this some sort of like Torchwood-ish mission where they had to there was like a chaotic like parasite or whatever that infects the host's brain and makes them go crazy. And that by the way, yeah, I have shit to say about that. First of all, what is the name of the thing? Trickster Brigade. That is absolutely a Doctor Who thing, as well as Sarah Jane thing. In fact, I believe it was mostly in the Sarah Jane Adventures than in anything else, because I looked them up. I looked Trickster Brigade up, and so they're like, I think they're like the only villain to ever be in all three consecutive shows at one, like not at once, but like at some point, right? Um, yeah, because we don't really have like Daleks or shit like that in Torchwood, right? I don't even, I don't know if there were in Surgeon either, unless you count the fucking crossover episode in season 4 of Doctor Who. But no, like they are the actual only enemy we have in all three shows. Um, Even though they were never like a big deal. I don't know, Sarah Jane, but not in Torchwood or Doctor Who, because in Doctor Who I believe that the only shit they did was like they were mentioned that they were the creators of like the bug that got on Donna's back, and that's it. It wasn't even direct or anything, but like the Trister Brigade doesn't really necessarily want has any goal other than just to cause chaos and mischief. Which is why I like them, I suppose. But yeah, that parasite shit that we saw is actually, yeah, it comes from them. But the thing is, and this is something I want to point out because I noticed this on the editing, and it's the fact that I said in a previous episode, I was like, did the thing shoot something to Angelo and Angelo went crazy because of it? I want to say that previous episode, while I was like editing it, I realized that like Angelo seemed to like not be aware of him stabbing Jack. And it's never like they never actually talk about it. But Angelo seems to be like, wait, what's happening? In like every scene after the scene where he stabs Jack. Right? And even he says something like, I didn't know what was happening. They were saying you were the devil or whatever. And he was like, no, you said that. Actually, it wasn't them. I mean, they said it afterwards, but you said it first. So that tells me that he wasn't actually aware of what happened in that scene, I think. Also, he said some people said you were the devil, some people said you were like a miracle or nature or some shit like that. And that makes me think that like I thought that maybe they thought that like attacking him was like a holy thing to do because religious people are weird. But maybe a lot of people actually thought that it wasn't like a bad thing. It wasn't like the devil or something. Maybe they thought that it was actually a miracle, Jack's immortality. So what they did is that they started actually like drinking his blood, which would be foreshadowed because earlier in that episode you had them drinking wine, and Jack said, "Hey, it's the blood of Christ. Don't complain," shit like that. Maybe they were making allusion to that. Also, like when Jack is like in the floor, like covered in blood and just cover, and he had like this like shroud on him. It is that like very like religious imagery? Is that like Jesus Christ imagery? Isn't it? Like it feels like it. What I'm thinking is that they didn't take pieces of Jack's meat, but maybe what they did take was like a lot of his blood. And what would his blood do. It's still like a part of Jack. And so then we have the, oh, by the way, the three musketeers, the three dudes that like, the three dudes that had I call them the three musketeers because in Dark there were three dudes that were the same person, don't worry about it. And they just walked together in tandem and all of them did the same movements at once, and I just called them the three musketeers. Alternatively, the three stooges, but musketeers stick better. But anyway, we had the three dudes that just like walked in and we're talking about like owning Jack or something like that. It was very big. Owning it, and they said they bought it from like the butcher for $10,000 or some shit. And then they would be like, all right, let's all own it together. And then they had like a handshake, but it wasn't really a handshake. It was like they all held each other's arms. And I didn't realize it at the time, but whenever they held each other's arms, they formed like a triangle. And I'm like, oh, maybe that's the triangle shit that we see, that there is like the people that are behind everything. So maybe that is it. That is the Shadow Organization. I mean, we thought that they were the Shadow Organization just by process of elimination, but now we get like an actual confirmation maybe. So at the end of the episode, well, Jack, Gwen, Esther, and Rex, they all dealt with the lady and the two escorts or whatever that were gonna take Jack away, and then they were like, we won, we got you, and then we saved Riz and the lady, the mom, Gwen's mom, and Gwen, and then they're like, we won, and then the lady is like, well, I don't actually see how this changes anything. You're still coming with us. And Jack is like, why? And it's because, well, because we're taking you to the one man that knows how the miracle began, Angelo Colasanto. And it's like, shit. So now it's like, okay, let's see what that is about. I'm realizing that, like, I'm mad sleepy. Like, I'm going to fall asleep any second now. And I haven't even started recording the episode. And this episode is 50 minutes long. So anyway, let's start. I'll make it. I'm good. As soon as Torchwood... Oh my god, Miracle Day also has a lot of fodder. Oh, it really drags on, doesn't it? Let's just start. Torchwood, Miracle Day, Season 4, Episode 8. Let's go.
Telling me the whole world got screwed because two gay guys had a hissy fit?
He's still alive. He's still young.
Oh, yes, he's still alive.
Not young. Yep.
My grandfather waited all this time to live forever.
Okay, so it is...
And his wish came true.
So he is like 111 years old then. Well, this blows.
You might be important in some way we've yet to work out. So it's best to keep you intact. But that's as far as the sentiment goes.
So why the hell, bollocks. Start again. Any chance of a drink?
I love Gwen. I love Gwen this season. She's great. What's happening in the background? Alright. You had a mustache?
The 70s.
70s. Yeah, it was the 70s.
Oh, Jack. He watched you for decades.
But he never made contact.
You may not be ashamed of being old, but he was. Well, the story says
The three dudes?
that it started with three men.
Yeah,
each
okay.
representing a different family, formed an alliance to purchase the power of resurrection. And when you escaped, the three families swore that they'd find the gift again.
What were their names?
The Abel March family, the Costardane family, and the Friends.
Find them all now.
Esther, look around you, girl.
We intercepted a message. It was just one word: blessing.
Okay, what are we talking about with this?
There's no one called Abel March or Costardane or Friends. I mean, literally, there's no
Nothing.
such names. There's nothing.
That's
it's blank.
bad, yeah.
They don't exist.
It's fucking... We should have fucking shot him while we had the chance.
You with the others. Matheson, don't try anything.
We are arresting all of you for violations of the Miracle Security Act. This is the same as treason now, folks. And I want a word with Rex right now.
Why is freaking inside? Who put him in the field?
Rex Matheson was his division, sir. He feels personally responsible.
Yeah, well, he should have waited for me, the fat ass.
They are everywhere. They are always.
What's it doing?
They are no one.
And they are listening.
What?
He has the lenses on.
I used my phone on purpose. I
Let's
was just
fucking
waiting until
go,
Torchwood
Rex.
got enough information.
Let's go, Rex.
Colasantos, they showed their hand, so I needed to get back inside, which meant laying a trap for you.
Very good job.
Yeah, he's gonna shoot him. Oh, he didn't. Okay, good. I was so sure he would be a fucking total loser and just go for it.
What is it with you, Red Baron? You got Snoopy up your ass?
While you're wasting time, Mr. Shapiro, we got the names of the people who are responsible for causing the miracle. I suggest we get to work.
Torchwood is going to work for the CIA?
I think the CIA can work for Torchwood, if you're lucky.
Did we just join the CIA?
A little bit.
I think we did.
Yeah. It's fucking weird. That's fucking weird.
Fat-ass traitor to the airport. Put him in cargo.
Newman! That's his name.
I wish I could say no now.
What are you doing?
He's gonna...
About the family in the end. They said that they would get mine. I'm gonna...
No, 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 no,
Oh shit. Okay.
What the hell was that?
He blew himself up. He blew all of them up.
Did you see him? Did you see Yanto?
Oh, maybe you saw yourself a little
don't like
bit.
that.
Oh.
Or maybe not.
Not, yeah. We got a little jealous.
You'd have been jealous.
Yeah.
What's the point of that?
Did you just make him mortal?
He's sick, I know. Tell me something new.
No, you killed him. You made him mortal. You just killed him.
How the hell did you do this?
I mean, because this is all clearly tied to Jack in some regard. So clearly you are the catalyst that made him die. It was right after you kissed him too. So like, it's clearly you, motherfucker. So we're gonna fix the world by sending Jack to kiss like literally like 7 billion people. And he's gonna solve everything. So I remember back when Jack and Esther got like the same injury. Is it literally just Jack touches someone and then they become mortal? Or they share his condition as a more general rule?
Was your day?
Welcome back, Rex. Things are kind of quiet with
Oh, cool.
There's nothing else.
We're talking to a dumb coworker that showed up for like 2 episodes.
Car accident, sheared off everything below the bikini line, got married a week later, propped up on a box. Basically, she's made up of positive thinking and colostomy bags. And anyway, they were thinking you and Dave. Can you turn the music down?
I wonder if it's gonna attack her or
Get me a
something.
girl.
Yeah, he wants to
How
fuck.
old? Legal age.
Seriously?
I've made a new life for myself. A new chance. With new tastes. So I want a woman. Now get me one. A redhead.
Shawnee Yamaguchi? That is correct. Go get me a sandwich. Tomato and Swiss and sourdough. Let's see how well you cope with that. And then you can find me a prostitute.
But I don't know how you put up with him.
He doesn't. Look at her.
I won't have to. Not for much longer.
I'm sorry, what do you mean?
Never mind. Off you go.
Because she recorded something or whatever.
Dave's
Oh!
a kid singer.
Okay, cool. Okay, so she's working for us. We're cool.
They said you reported me.
Who said that?
I want to volunteer.
For what?
Category 1.
What about the girls? Think about the girls.
I've put them on the list too.
Don't give up.
Is this a motivation
Go get the
episode? Right before the storm.
What about Jack then?
Oh, he's doing that old thing, keeping secrets, won't tell me. Will you? God knows what's going on.
Did Esther figure something out?
What are you doing?
You seen this? Maybe it's the floor.
Is there something underneath the floor? Is there some alien thing underneath it or some shit?
Esther,
It
don't
is.
just leave it.
But look, it's not part of the original design. It can't be.
Esther, seriously, listen to me.
Jack is like, I know.
Word, just leave it.
Jack?
Does Jack know what the floor thing is?
Somebody want to tell me what's going on between you three?
Yeah. He knows. She's
We're
gonna-
trying to figure out how Angelo Colasanto died. I think there's something under the floor.
Is it a pool of Jax's blood or some shit?
I said he doesn't know. Now get out of his face.
The file also says that Cooper and Harkness inevitably form an alliance, and the best results can be achieved by separating them.
CIA doesn't have any authority over me. You're not deporting me. I'm coming back. Have you done that?
Of course, Gwen acts like that.
You can't touch it.
Oh, he speaks at last.
Jack, come on. What the hell is it?
Some sort of transmitter.
Okay. And what does it do?
Well, mostly proves my theory that immortality is caused by some kind of morphic field.
Wait a minute. You know what's causing the miracle?
No. Saying it's a morphic field is as vague as saying it's radiation. I still don't know how, where, or what is creating it.
So it transmits what? Some sort of field that cancels out the first one so Angelo could die?
And where did he get it?
I don't know everything.
Alright. How much am I gonna hate this scene? That's the question.
Maybe we could have dinner on room service.
I'm sorry, you mean like a date?
Alright.
Mr. Danes, I do know who you are. I mean, from your trial.
Except that's not everything that I am. Don't presume to know me. I am capable of much more than my reputation.
Actually, no. If you don't mind, I think I'd like to go. I could cope with this if it meant shoving my face in the dirt. I'm used to that. But if you want us to pretend that you're normal,
She can't deal with it.
no way. No.
Oh, he's gonna hate this.
Please don't.
All
sir,
I'm
please don't do that.
I'm asking for is your company. It's all. Just your company.
Girls my age fight back. You know that already, though, don't you? I mean, that's why you prefer kids in the first place.
Don't you dare!
You're running out of time. The way I heard it, you've been classified at Category 0.
What's Category 0?
It's sad.
Did you really think it would never come to an end? Your freedom. There's an emergency mandate being passed through Congress defining a new Category 0, meaning people who have earned themselves a place in the heavens for moral reasons.
They want to burn me alive?
Oswald, you were always sentenced to death.
How long have you known about this?
Of course. I'm very worried. I do hope she wins though.
I'll have you arrested for this! Brand new charges!
He has to kill her.
They're gonna reopen those ovens and you're going in!
I do like this though. I do like that Oswald Dane's life fell apart because he's a fucking asshole and a creep. I like that.
We're on the transmission, so it's nullifying sound.
So we can talk to
No
between
one outside
ourselves.
the field
Yeah.
can hear us. There's a reason why Torchwood was secret. We kept things hidden from the human race. This technology is a science the world should never know. I've walked the future world and breathed its air.
That's a great line.
Even if the government had this one panel and they put people inside and they died, it's the same thing as the ovens. It's control over life and death, and we've seen that that doesn't work.
This is a genuine CIA operation.
Rex,
This
shut,
is history,
dude.
Rex. This is everything. Please get me out.
What are you doing here?
I'm here to warn you. You're being watched by a CIA field agent.
Oh.
Don't be ridiculous.
All right.
You're being considered for a promotion.
Oh, cool.
Shut up.
Does a promotion sound interesting?
She's like, yeah,
Yes. Yes.
of course, I know
Well,
you.
then that completes the interview. She's with us now.
Thanks. Good news.
Catholic churches love records. There's tons of this stuff.
Oh, no. It's just a family thing, that's all. All right.
Fuck you. Her? The randomest ass fucking character ever. She's like, oh yeah, I was the bad guy all along. Fuck you.
Hey, stop!
They actually did hit him. And he is immortal now.
Stay where you are!
He saw me. Rex, he saw me. He saw me. Rex, he saw me.
No, you can't stay. You definitely.
So she has to go with Jack. By the way, would that work? Because if he saw Esther, but then he got hit from behind, then it means that there was a third accomplice.
Can you hear me?
He's dying. Like, Gwen is like being like plot conveniently deported back to EU.
Oh my god, I don't know where to go. Jack, please say something. Oh my god, I don't know what to do.
I wish Barrow was here. That's it? That's my end of episode? Fuck off. Fuck off with that shit. God, that is the most unsatisfactory episode ever. Fuck you. Okay, I managed to stay awake through the whole thing. Okay, so that episode kind of flew by, and that was like the most unsatisfactory episode ever. So, okay, let's go over it a little bit. So last episode we learned about Angelo Colasanto, and then he didn't really do anything. He just kind of showed up and died. He didn't even talk because this version of Angelo can't even talk. So last episode I was like, is he immortal? Like, is he actually like super young? Does he mutate horribly? Like, what happened? And at the end of the day, it was just like, well, no, he's just very old. And it makes sense because the lady was like, well, yes, like, there are actual ways in order to prolong your lifespan as much as you possibly can. It's just not very common because it's not good for profits, so they just don't advertise it too much. But there are absolutely ways in order to prolong your lifespan more than what the average would be. So he pushed it up to like 110 or some shit like that, which is like, all right, that's cool. So yeah, Angelo just pushed it to 100 and whatever, 110, some shit like that. And now he would be dying normally. Like, it's weird because he would be dying in these days, but the miracle happened and you just caught him, I suppose. Alright, so we saw him, and then, okay, so the lady explained to us that there are 3 families that made the deal. Okay, so it's a family business. Oh yeah, the fucking CIA ladies wanted the family, like, what the fuck? Okay, never mind. That doesn't matter. It does matter, but fuck that. Because that's like the most random throwaway character. And then it's just like, oh, she was the bad guy all along. It's like, well, that doesn't really mean anything to me. Because we haven't spent any time with her. I just remember that she showed up like once. And that's it. In fact, I would think she was the lady that saw us with Danes. And she was like, he sounds like a nice guy or some shit. Like, I feel bad for him or some stuff like that. Was he trying to manipulate people by saying shit like that? I don't remember. Like, what the fuck? Anyway, so that lady, or whatever. So there's this family business, those are the 3 families that made the deal. And they actually made a deal for ownership of Jack. But Angelo made helped Jack escape. So then they just try to get him afterwards somehow. Is that what they said? Also, Angelo kept tabs on Jack the entire time. Angelo was just looking at Jack, taking pictures and everything. And what sucks is the thing that Jack said at one point when he was with him, like next to him. He was like, maybe we actually spoke at some point. Just an old guy that just walked up to me and asked for directions, and I saw right through you. Like, I didn't know that it was you, and that sucks to think about. And it was nice when he was like, did you see him? Did you see Yanto? You would have liked Yanto. Well, maybe not. You would have been jealous. It's like, oh, it would be nice if he saw a little bit of himself in Yanto. Oh, that's fun. But that means that Angelo was like always, all the time, forever, until the day of his death, like actually in love with Jack, and he literally dedicated his life to that. This just further adds to my thought that the parasite made him go crazy and stab Jack. That's not an actual thing that he would have done, but the parasite made Angelo go crazy. Anyway, so then Jack kissed them and he just died. And it's not just because of Jack, it's the thing that was underneath it. It's some kind of alien tech. And I didn't fully understand what the fuck that is, but it's related to the morphic fields. And it emits some kind of transmission or whatever. And I suppose it triggered when Jack stepped on it. Is that what they said? So then Jack was like, you need to get me out of here with this like thing from the construct or whatever. So, oh yeah, the CIA took over. We have this. So, okay, Newman got fucked and he just blew up. He just killed himself. But there's this other guy that came in, Shapiro. He's the guy in charge now. And he's not a bad guy, but he's just a rough guy. Just a rough boss. So he comes in and he's like, alright, you're all working for me now. Fuck you. Anyway, do your jobs. And it's very, like, raw. It's like, okay, that's what we're doing. Jack doesn't want the CIA to find out what is actually going on with the floorboards and himself and the morphic fields, but eventually they get it out of him. I have to say, dividing Gwen from Jack was like plot convenient, almost. Because the whole thing is that Jack was like, well, I'm not gonna tell you shit, and then they're like, well, we're gonna separate you from Gwen Cooper then. And then Jack is like, wait, don't do that. And then he's like, oh, you're gonna talk? And Jack is like, no. And then it's like, well, fuck it, then just take her away. And then Jack told them anyway. And after he told them, they didn't bring Gwen back. Like, that to me is like plot convenience. Of like plot convenience in the sense that the plot is going into the direction the writer wants it to go. And for that reason, we have to have a reason for Gwen to be in Wales or whatever. To not be with Jack in USA, or she needs to be in Wales or whatever the plot wants to do. But this is like the reason why they split. And it's almost like dumb because they presented that as if Jack would say something and they would allow Gwen to stay. To the point that when he said, don't take her away, they were like, stopped a little bit. And then they were like, oh, you're going to talk? And then he's like, no. And then they took her away. And then he talked like 5 seconds afterwards. But then she didn't come back. And nobody said, hey, bring her back. I told you. Like, none of that transcribed, did it? Or am I fucking crazy? So, like, he did literally start talking after Gwen was taken away. But they didn't bring Gwen back. So, like, I think that's a little bit dumb. A little bit. Because the way they played that made me think that if he talks, Gwen stays. But then he talked anyway after she was gone. Like 5 seconds afterwards. And they didn't bring her back. So that to me is like conveniently placing Gwen away from whatever's happening here. Alright, so moving forward. The granddaughter just got fucked. I thought maybe she would be more important, but no, she just blew up with Newman because Newman is a sore loser. Because yeah, they don't treat kindly to whoever doesn't fulfill the family's wishes or goals or whatever. Which means that Gillian Kitzinger might have a dire future ahead of her. Okay, so they showed me that Esther, she got in contact with her sister because of the traitor lady in the CIA, I suppose, the family lady. Maybe she's the one that told her that Esther is the one that deported her or whatever. Not deported, like reported, I suppose. But so Esther gets to call her sister, and they have a chat. And the sister essentially says, "I want to become a Category 1. I want to go brain dead." And she's like, "Think about the kids." And she's like, "Well, I thought about them. They're gonna go brain dead too. It will be the best. I don't want to live anymore. I don't have a soul in me." It's like, all right, then we need to fix this shit. And that's when Esther finds her determination to just fix this shit. She doesn't find a determination in order to like escape or go back to her sister and cry with her or whatever. She finds her determination to just do her the best job she possibly can in order to fix this whole problem, in hopes that will help her sister. Which is why she eventually tells Shapiro about the panel underneath the bed or whatever. Anyway, so Oswald Danes, he's back after like 2 episodes of not showing up. I would have been fine with him never showing up again, but he showed up again. How do I say this? Okay, I'm having a hard time trying to decipher what is up with him. Because, here's the thing. Is that they're trying to make him better. Better is not enough for a character like him. He's like minus 100 in a scale of 1 to 10. So making him better than minus 100 doesn't necessarily mean he'll be okay. Right? He's still like a minus 80 in the scale of 1 to 10. So, here's the thing. Is that, okay, we have 2 paths we can take here. Because we show that Oswald Danes, he's like, alright, I want a girl. So get me a girl. And I want her to be a redhead. And I want her to be legal. Legal age. And Jilly is like, seriously? And the dude is like, yeah, I want to grow. I want to try new things or something. I don't remember what he said. So, first of all, the reason he asked redhead is because he's just seeing Julia Kitzinger next to him the entire time. And he's just like, I guess I like redheads now. I like that girl, but I'm not going to do anything with her. So let's get another one then. So the thing is that they get the prostitute. Oh, and the reason why the CIA agent was killed by the family, the reason why the family knew is because she's just, yeah, the traitor CIA lady just set her up to die, essentially. Anyway, so, Oswald Danes, we have two paths we can take this, right? For him, as a character, where is he going? So what I'm thinking is, he either wants to genuinely change as a person. If so, that's commendable. It's not gonna fix anything for you, and it's not gonna change the way anyone feels about you. Fuck you. But it's commendable that you want to get better. I will always applaud that sentiment if it's genuine. But that's where I'm going. It might not be genuine. Because there's two paths we can take this. One, he wants to become a better person, generally. Because he sees the errors of his ways and it's like, that was fucked up. I don't want to do that again. Or, he wants to change what he does and his taste, maybe. Not because he sees the error of his ways, but because he doesn't want the world to see him as the monster that he is. Which means that he's not really concerned about whether or not the things that he did were right or wrong, but because he is concerned about his image and how everyone else feels about him. Because he seems to be a person that is entirely dependent on how everyone around him feels about him. Which is why he's miserable whenever Jill Kissinger is around, because he knows she hates him. So, there we go. So yeah, I think that's a more plausible situation. I think that's literally what it is. I don't think he gives a shit about improving as a person. I think he gives a shit about changing as a person just so people wouldn't hate him as much. Which is the most superficial fucking thing to do. That's not actual change. That's just like, well, I want people to like me better, so I suppose I'll start doing this and maybe I'll end up liking it. Or tolerating it or some shit. And yeah, that's what he wants to do. But it was very weird, the whole sequence with the prostitute, because so I think he genuinely wants to change. It's not that he has changed how he feels, but it's that he genuinely wants to say, okay, I gotta get used to this things that are normal, so then I may be able to not be hated by everyone, because I might be able to play normal, maybe. I think that's what it is. I don't think he is disgusted by his actions. I think it's more that he's trying to become acquaintance with normal actions, so that people wouldn't see him as a big of a monster. I think that's what it is. But it was a very weird scene where the prostitute is like, alright, dude, like, I don't want to have a date with you. Like, listen, if it's just the fucking, I can just pretend. I can just shove my head in the fucking pillow and just roll with it. But if you actually want us to, like, talk and have, like, a date or whatever, I'm out of here. I'm not comfortable with that, so fuck you. And then she just left. Oswald, and she even told him, people are already calling you a category 0 or whatever, right? So then, he goes and asks Kissinger what a category 0 is, and she says, well, some senators are passing around this law or whatever. And this brought so much joy to my soul. It's the fact that they're like this, the senators or whatever, people, just politicians, are passing this bill of like, yeah, category 0. And he's like, what's that? And it's like, well, do you think you were going to be out forever? Category 0 is essentially someone that should die, but is not, like, it's not considered to be a category 1. Like, it's not someone that is unconscious and medically should go. It's someone that morally should go. And that's where you fit in. That's essentially what we did with you. Like, we give you the death sentence. You were a category 0 already. The only difference that instead of the, like, heart poison is now gonna be just fire. So there you go. We're just gonna burn you alive. And then he just freaks out, and he just fucking hits Kissinger. And I thought he was just gonna throw her out the window. He didn't. He just hit her, stole her, like, laptop, and run away. Okay, Oswald Danes is now an animal running wild. Yeah, corner animal. So what will he do? Hopefully not assault a minor and commit sexual charges. Hopefully on the minor either. Hopefully that doesn't happen. So there you go. Jayla Kissinger then gets hired by the family, just straight up hired. And they kill the CIA spy because the lady CIA spy, the lady CIA infiltrated family member just set her up to die. So that sucks. Then Jack sets this up where he could talk to Esther and Rex in private. And then he just tells them, I need to get out of here. Alongside with this like tablet thing that is there in here. We need to get the fuck out. So they managed to dodge CIA security. And Jack and Esther just get out of there. Rex stays. Jack gets shot in like the abdomen or something. And then Esther just goes in the car and starts driving. And Jack is just dying in the fucking backseat of the car. And Esther is like, I don't know where to go. Because like, what are we going to do? Like, we can't even visit a doctor here. So, alright. That's fucked. I don't know where we're going with this. So they did something with Jax's blood. But like Jack said, like there's nothing special about my blood. Like, so, but like they must have taken it for something. So there's something definitely going on regarding Jack and whatever. But I don't get it. I suppose maybe next episode I'll get it. For the time being, this is where I'm standing. I don't know. Okay, so I'm kind of disappointed that Angelo Colasanta just didn't kind of do much. Because, like, previous episode, we spent, like, the entire episode setting him up. And now he just showed up and died. And he didn't even talk or anything. There wasn't, like, an emotive scene or anything. He just was an old guy in bed, and then he just died. And that was the end of that. And it's like, well, shit. Maybe there will be some alien bullshit that will make him relevant. Because we still have to close off he got possessed by, like, the crazy, like, parasite or whatever, which I'm 100% sure happened. So if that is the case, then we have to close that like plot line, that thread still, and we haven't. So maybe we'll do that. I like it if Ghost of the Past continue to come back for this season. If it wasn't just like a one-off thing and we just come here to the Cola Santa Mansion or whatever and that's it. But yeah, I think this was cool. So like yeah, the Cola Santa, like the lady didn't. She actually wanted to break Jack in order to keep him safe. That's wild. Like they weren't evil at all. They didn't try to kill anyone. That was just it. That's all they wanted to do. So that's kind of crazy. But yeah, okay. Sucks that she blew up. Fucking Newman, dude. Newman is just like, all right, I'm just gonna blow myself up, and it's like, well, shit. All right then, we're good. So, okay, I think that might be it for this episode. Is there anything else I want to say about it? No, that's pretty much it. Like, fucking Miracle Day moves slowly, man. So, yeah, that might be it. We have like 2 episodes left. We have like 2 episodes left until Torchwood dies. So there you go. That's where we're at. Hell, man. It's getting wild here. So yeah, maybe next episode. I like 2 episodes left. To me, that tells me next episode there's going to be some major shit. And then the episode after that has to be the conclusion, right? But if there's going to be, like, revelations, it will be in next episode. And then the final episode has to be, like, conflict and solution, right? A proper conclusion. So that's probably what we're going to be doing. But yeah, anyway. That's it for this episode of Torchwood. Alright everyone, thank you so much for watching this episode reaction to Torchwood. If you would like to see the next one already, it should be up on Patreon, as well as full length. Check out the links in the description below for that, everything else, social media, and I'll see you next time, okay everybody? Take care. Goodbye.